For the first time in his career, Tom Aspinall will be defending the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, and he will be doing so in Abu Dhabi. Because it's in Abu Dhabi, the fight card will be early in the day, so I'm going to give you my bets early in the week. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my bets for UFC 321. Before we look at this week, let's take a look at last week. UFC Vancouver was a success. 2.5 units of net profit out the door. The lock of the week hit, the slam of the week hit, and the boys had a solid night, but it wasn't just last week. If we look at Rio, the week before that, another spectacular week. 4.22 units of net profit out the door. Safety hit, lock of the week, the slam hit. If we go back another week, UFC 320, also a success. 3.5 units of success out the door. Net profit racking up. Lock of the week hit. Slam hit. If we keep going back, the UFC Perth card was also a success with almost 10 units of net profit. The safety hit, the lock of the week hit, the slam of the week hit. And if you didn't figure it out yet, there is a theme here, and the theme is the boys are doing very well. Specifically, Jacob is crushing it. He is on an all-time heater, and that's important to you because I'm going to give you my bets, but Jacob's bets are on the website. If you want to check out Jacob's bets, go to WeWantPicks.com. It's freaking $10 for an entire month, and you won't just get the bets. You'll get every single thing that we offer, every bet, every tool. One of those tools is the line movement tracker. This will give you opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every fighter on every card. A prop hunter, which is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. We have a fight simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times. Not only does it give you the outputs, it gives you each individual metric along the way, like how many strikes each fighter is landing to get there. You can take that information, go find prop bets on your favorite sports book. Every pick, every bet, every tool that we offer is in one package for $10, and it's for an entire month. Here's what that month looks like. You're going to get UFC 321. You're going to get 2 fight nights, and then you're going to get UFC 322, 2 pay-per-views. UFC 322 is arguably the best pay-per-view of the year. It's freaking $10 to unlock all of it. Jacob's on an all-time heater. The boys are doing well. Lock in. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. No upsell, no cross-sell, no tiers, no bullshit. $10. WeWantPicks.com. Let's talk about this card specifically. Let's talk about some favorites and some dogs, and then we'll jump into some actual bets. If I'm looking at favorites, there's a lot of obvious favorites on this card, at least in my opinion, but they are priced that way. For example, I don't have Umar Nurmagomedov in my list here because I feel like that's a given. I'm picking him. He's obvious. I didn't want to burn a spot in this chart, so I'm doing that for you. You're going to get 5 confident favorites out of me. One of them is Azat Maksum. Azat Maksum is good. I understand he's on a 2-fight skid, but he is good. His fight against Tagir Ulanbekov was very, very close. It was very competitive. He defended takedowns. He got his own takedowns. The striking, he looked good in that fight. And I'll tell you right now, Azat Maksum's loss against Tagir looked better than any win Mitch Raposo has. Also, Valter Walker. He is coming in on somewhat short notice, as is his opponent, but both of them were booked separately in the last month or so, and their opponents fell through. Valter, at this point, has proven to us he is a UFC caliber fighter. His physical transformation alone is enough to have confidence that he's putting in the work and doing what he's supposed to do. He is fighting a sort of just wide bodybuilder build kind of guy, but I think Valter still gets it to the ground and still has success, minus 325. Jaqueline Amorim, minus 400. I think she gets it done. Now, obviously, I understand Mizuki Inoue is tough, but she has barely fought in the last couple of years. And while she is somewhat capable, I think she gets taken down. I think the ground game's a little weak on her side. And I think it's just an obvious Jaqueline Amorim win. And then Tom Aspinall in the main event. You guys got all bunched up panties when I said I don't think Gane deserved this title shot. And I laid out why I don't think he deserved this title shot. First of all, he has had 2 failed title shots already. 2 failed ones. Second of all, I don't think he won his last fight. I think Volkov beat him. And if you run down the list, there are other heavyweights that have put together decent streaks. For example, Jailton Almeida, who is also on this card. So they gave it to Gane. For whatever reason, the UFC really wants that dude in title fights. But I don't think he deserves it. I think Tom Aspinall wins here. My only caveat to that is Tom Aspinall has fought like a total of 5 minutes in his entire UFC career. And that's just a testament to how dominant he is, but also none of us, not me, not you, none of us have any clue what happens if Tom doesn't get somebody out of there early. And 2, I don't love that his father's training him. And it's gotten him to this point, and this point is very high, right? UFC world champion. But there's not a lot of father-son combinations in the UFC. You could point to boxing, but there's not a lot of father-son combinations in the UFC that have maintained any real level of meaningful success. So I'm going to pick him. I am very, very confident in him. I do hope that fight goes long because I just want to see what happens when things aren't perfect for Tom Aspinall fight. If you look at underdogs, there's actually a lot of good dogs on this card. I'm going to start with Nasrat Haqparast. Depending when you watch this and depending on your sportsbook, he might be the slight favorite. This line is like bing bong. He started as a good size favorite a few days ago. It's creeping, it's crawling. I expect him to be a full-blown favorite come fight night. I bet on him at dog money. I still see he's dog money on some books, but he is favorite money on other books. I don't think Nasrat should have ever been a dog. I am surprised with his level of experience and everything that he's done that he's a dog here. Not to mention, he has won a couple of bullshit decisions. So he either has some MMA karma coming his way or the judges just love this dude for no reason whatsoever. So I think Nasrat wins this fight. Nathaniel Wood, similar situation. I don't know how he's the dog. Nathaniel Wood is a very, very good fighter. And I understand his opponent just knocked out a dude that nobody thought could be knocked out. But Nathaniel Wood's a fast, aggressive striker. He's got clean technique. He's got great grappling. And he has a wild breadth of UFC experience. I think Nathaniel Wood wins this fight. I also bet on him, and I'll show you that in a minute. We got Alexander Rakic. I think, listen, Azamat Murzakanov is a good fighter. I am picking him to win this fight. Azamat Murzakanov is dangerous. He gets after it. He has a knockdown in every single one of his UFC fights. And he has finishes in all but one. But he's small. He's small for this weight class. And if Alexander Rakic just stays on the outside, touches, stays far, touches, doesn't fully engage in the pocket, doesn't let Azamat bomb away with the power, he could win a boring Alexander Rakic decision. That's what this dude does really well. It is not crazy that Alexander Rakic wins this fight. I do not have any bets on that fight because I could absolutely see Rakic get knocked out cold or Rakic just dance on the outside of the cage the entire time. And then Virna Jandiroba in the main event. What are we doing? What are we doing? The fact that she is now the underdog and it's widening is crazy to me. I understand this is a rematch. I understand Mackenzie won the first fight. That was years ago. That was a very, very long time ago. And since then, Virna has completely transformed. Her takedowns are far better. Her cardio is much better. The aggression is much better. And Mackenzie hasn't really evolved. Now, Mackenzie Dern is one of the toughest women we have ever seen fight ever. She will take a beating and keep coming. She doesn't quit whatsoever, but Mackenzie has dog shit takedown defense, dog shit takedown offense. Her striking is technical but not good, meaning she's doing what she's supposed to do, but she's not fast, she's not very clean, she's not very powerful. I think Virna gets a gazillion takedowns. I think she stays safe on top. I think Virna wins this fight. The only concern is, obviously, Mackenzie wants this fight on the ground, and that's where it's going to spend the majority of its time. Let's take a look at my actual bets. There are more bets coming. And I will say that with 100% certainty. I am waiting for some of the takedown lines and significant strike lines. There are more bets coming. I'm also waiting for some of these lines to flip or widen. So make sure you go to the website, wewantpicks.com, become a member so you can see when the new bets pop up. If you don't have the app, download the app. It's 100% free. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store and make sure notifications are on so when we place bets, you can find out. Nathaniel Wood right off the rip. I mentioned before. First of all, this line is tightening. So I got him at plus 133. He's not quite there right now. I don't know what he's going to look like on fight night, but a lot of people are starting to look at this and be like, okay, well, Jose Delgado's good, but Nathaniel Wood has shown us in real life many times over how good he is. I think Nathaniel Wood's the better fighter literally everywhere except maybe raw power. But he's technical, he's fast, he's clean, he's got grappling. I think Nathaniel Wood wins this fight. Half a unit, plus 133. Then I took two guys I was very confident in. Not quite safety parlay confident, but I took two guys I was confident in, slapped them together, Valter Walker, Tom Aspinall. My concern in those two are, one, Valter Walker has been dominating. Like, his only 3 UFC wins have been 3 of 3 heel hooks, and he dominated very quickly. If Valter can't take this dude down because he's like wide, tree trunk wide, we might have a problem. But I'm confident. That's why I bet on him. Tom Aspinall, All the reasons I mentioned before, if Tom Aspinall doesn't just get Ciryl Gane out of there, what does this look like 15, 20 minutes into it? He hasn't been that deep before, especially at this level. I'm confident in both of them. That's why I bet on them. I am not the person who just chases random dogs. Nasrat Haqparast, I got him at minus 107. He's floating around. Some books he's minus 105. Other books he's minus 115. If you are on the Nasrat side, I don't imagine you're going to get that value much longer, but I do have this bet on him because I just think he's the overall better fighter. I think he's a more well-rounded, if you will. I understand Quillen is good and Quillen is busy and he gets his arms out there and he just stays doing stuff. But Nasrat has fought the far higher level of competition. He stays active on the feet. He can wrestle if he needs to. I think Nasrat wins this fight. Then I took Jaqueline Almeida, Umar Nurmagomedov, the wrestler parlay. I think Umar dominates that fight. The problem is he's minus 630 or whatever the hell it is. So there's not an insane amount of value left. And when I'm looking, I don't love a million of these round lines. I said, you know what? I'm very confident in Jaqueline Almeida. Let's go ahead and slap those two together. Jaqueline Almeida should beat Volkov. Volkov's been taken down many times before. That's how Tom Aspinall beat him. That's how Ciryl Gane worked in some takedowns as well. I think Jaqueline Almeida gets a gazillion takedowns, potentially finds a finish there. It's only a 3-round fight, so we don't have to worry about any cardio issues, but we've seen Jaqueline Almeida go 25 minutes with Derek Lewis, and I think it either looks like that fight or it looks like a typical Jaqueline fight where he gets it to the ground, finds a finish. I think Umar's better than Mario basically everywhere, so I think Umar wins, minus 148 there. Then we have Virna Jandiroba in the main event for all the reasons I have already mentioned. I think she gets the takedowns. I think her jiu-jitsu is good enough to stay safe. I think she's just got hard-nosed aggression. And while I fully recognize Mackenzie Dern is crazy tough and crazy durable, Mackenzie Dern at this point is like okay striking, shit wrestling. And the problem is with shit wrestling, she can't scramble. She can't defend takedowns if she wants to. Let's say she's having success on her feet and not on the ground. She can't keep it standing if she wants to. Let's say she's not having success off her back. She wants to end up on top. She's not going to get her own takedown. So I think Virna Jandiroba wins this fight, but I recognize she starts to slow down. I recognize that this is taking place on the ground, which is Mackenzie's only path to success. So only a quarter unit there at plus 138. And then the safety parlay, a plus money safety parlay. You can check that out now at WeWantPicks.com. There are more bets coming, but here's a couple of other bets from the other boys. You saw all the stats in the beginning of this video. Jacob is on a heater, and you need to ride the hot hand. I don't know how or why, but betting on MMA is streaky. It is streaky. So you got to ride the streak when you can ride the streak. Jacob's got a bunch of bets. Here's a preview. His underdog lock of the week. Full disclosure, I am recording this before he has officially announced the lock of the week. He hasn't told me who the lock of the week is in definitive terms, but I'm almost positive I know who it is. But if you take a look at Jacob's bets, you can use some deductive reasoning skills. He's got an underdog at 2 full units. He has another underdog at 1 full unit. It's one of those two. I assume it's the 2-unit dog. Then we have a round 1 finish prop at plus 200, a round 2 finish prop at plus 300, and Bet Sam's Slam of the Week. Bet Sam's Slam of the Week is on a wild streak right now. It's on an unbelievable streak right now. He has 2 full units on that. You can unlock every single bet. There are 20 plus units of premium bets. 4.5 of those are for future events. Our bets are not just one event at a time. Obviously, the vast majority are for that weekend's event, but we have bets for UFC 322. I already have bets for next week, UFC Vegas 110. We have other bets on the board. Check out every pick, every bet, every tool. Not just for this card, but for these 4 cards right now. It is $10. I cannot emphasize enough how little $10 is. 99% of you watching this are going to spend more than $10 on lunch. Some of you spend $10 on a scratcher that got you nothing. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. You're going to get full access to every single thing we offer for UFC 321, 2 fight nights, and UFC 322. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Guys, quick little thing here. Let me know if you want Tom Aspinall to win this main event. And hold on, before you jump down my throat. I do not want Ciryl Gane to win, but if he does win, that opens the door for Alex versus Ciryl at the White House for the heavyweight championship of the world. And I think Alex has a far better chance of being Cyril Gane than he does of beating Tom Aspinall. And I personally would love to see Alex Pereira become the only ever 3-division champion. I would love that more than anything. And I think the only actual path to that is if Cyril somehow shocks the world and then they do Cyril versus Alex. If Tom Aspinall runs through Cyril Gane, takes him down, Tom Aspinall's too fast, too athletic, hits a little too hard. I think he can beat Alex relatively easily, but I don't think Cyril can. Let me know what you guys think, if that's just a ridiculous theory or people just love Tom too much to even fathom a world where he's not the champ. But thank you for being here. Good luck this weekend.